Adhivakta Parishad Nagaland International Women's Day Mark Kurule March 10 Day Tourist Lodge Conference Hall Dimapur seminar ekta organized kurishe. Seminar de empowering women celebrating their role in life and advocating for their rights. POCSO Act Women Empowerment Invest in Women Acceleration Progress laga oporde alak speakers kanbra presentation dishe. Seminar do Invest in Women Accelerate Progress laga team Peter Bal dishe. IB details sizable.
And especially see the specialists in POCSO Act.
The primary objective of the organization is for legal awareness and especially for legal services to the marginalized society. And as far as the national level is concerned, the Nagaland unit Adhivakta Parishad also very active in giving service to the neglected section of the society, that is the poor section, by giving them free legal services. And the Nagaland unit has been a part and parcel of the national organizations which is very active, and the Nagaland unit has been participating in the national level every once a year. There is a council meeting. And the Nagaland Adhivakta Parishad have a slogan that justice for. That was the slogan that the organization is committed to, serving the people who cannot afford to seek for justice.
Everyone in our village is my cousins, and because we believe in the descendants of the same grandparents, so what happens is that we cannot marry anyone within our family, within our village. Our village is known as one family within Mon district, because everyone, we have more than 150 households, we are all cousins. We cannot marry each other within our own village. So what happened is that it's a traditional belief, you know. So what happened is that many of the parents, they think that educating a girl child is a waste, because we are not going to contribute to our own village. So they give more importance, more special preference to the male child to educate them. But fortunately, my parents were educated enough, who believe in equal education. It was back then. Now we have many educated people in my own village. Now we have started to come out of that past, and we are letting education to be provided equally among the village. So what comes to your mind when we hear the word women's right? What comes to your mind when we talk about women's right? Does it sound like a privilege or a special rights enjoyed by the female? Well, it simply is that there should not be any gender rights. There should be only one right, that is human rights. But there arises the need of women's right because of the rights deprived by the specific gender of our society. And to protect women as they are perceived as the weaker section of the society.
Today, as we gather to celebrate the remarkable achievements of women, it is also very, very crucial to reflect on the pressing issue that continue to threaten the society, the very fabric of our society here in Nagaland. I'll just speak on the context of Nagaland because I think we all need to learn a little bit on what this act is all about. Now, in this context, the POCSO Act, it emerges as a cornerstone in our efforts to combat the heinous crime and ensure justice for children. The Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, which is also known as POCSO Act, was it came into force on 14th of November 2012, and since then it has been a very, very strong cornerstone for the children who are facing like sexual abuses throughout the country. The Act The Act has 46 provisions only, and through these 46 provisions, it increased the scope of reporting offenses against children, which was earlier covered by the Indian Penal Code. Now, when I talk about Indian Penal Code covered only 3 crimes against women, which was 354, which is for, somebody enlighten me, I forgot, 354, it's about outraging the modesty of women. 376 was about rape, and 377 was for unnatural sex. That was the only 3 sections in the Indian Penal Code that covered crime or offenses against women. Now, luckily and fortunately, after the central government have incepted the POCSO Act in 2012, 14th November, I have seen personally a number of cases rising here, even in our state. Now, the people are looking like more, how to say, they are becoming more courageous, the victims are becoming more courageous to come forward, seeking for help, instead of hiding behind the curtain after facing all the sexual harassment that they face in whatever walks of life they come across. Now, the Act is a gender-neutral, it's actually a gender-neutral Act. That you all must remember. It is not just about women, it is not about girl child, it is a gender-neutral Act, which means that even a boy can be a victim of child sexual abuse. So keeping that in mind, let us just dive into a little bit into the Act. Now, this Act defines a child as someone who is below the age of 18 years. Now, talking about boys being victim too, there was, in my own experience, I have come across 2 cases where the victims were boys and not girls. It was surprising for me also to come across such a case where the victims, which I was expecting to be girl, came to be young boys of tender age. The boys was around 5-6 years of age, and when I see the age of the victim girls, they were normally ranging from 4 years to 15 years maximum. So that is the scenario here in Nagaland. Now, talking about the predators in this case, in this kind of cases, are mostly known people, and sometimes even parents are involved, and sometimes relatives are involved. Now, why I am telling you all this is we have this social stigma surrounding sexual offenses. Sometimes we fear that what people will think. Sometimes we fear, like, if I don't get justice, why should I come forward? Those are the stigma that surrounds us when it comes to sexual offenses. So, in recent years in Nagaland, like many other parts of the country, has grappled with a scourge of child sexual abuse. The POCSO Act is plays a very important role in safeguarding the rights and well-being of our children. Now, Nagaland being a very close-knit family, a community, it often grapples with the silence and stigma surrounding cases of child sexual abuse. It is imperative to break the culture of silence and create an environment where survivors will feel empowered through you and me. A 2022 report by the Ministry of Women and Child Development stated that 1.62 lakh cases was registered in the entire country, out of which, even in Nagaland itself, in 2022, 35 cases were reported. In 2020, it was 31, while in 2021, it was 51. As of right now, we have about 54 cases registered in pending trial, which means it is increasing. Now, it is widely acknowledged that the actual number of these sexual cases is likely to be much, much higher than we are talking in figures right now. Now, coming to the Act, I will provide some of the key highlights in principle of this Act, of this POCSO Act. Number one, is comprehensive definition. The POCSO Act provides a very comprehensive definition of various forms of sexual offenses against children, which includes penetrative, which means, I hope you all understand, I'll just use all this language because it is must. Now, non-penetrative and also child pornography. The clarity is in defining offenses ensures that all forms of abuses are covered under this act, unlike IPC. Number 2 is stringent punishment. This act prescribes stringent punishment for perpetrators of child sexual abuse, the minimum punishment being 3 years, and which may extend to life imprisonment and death penalty. These punishments are severe so as to deter the criminals from committing such kind of offense. This act also includes provisions for fine and also compensation to the victims for medical and rehabilitation. Number 3, this act is a child-friendly procedure. Recognizing the vulnerable nature of the child victim, the POCSO Act mandates child-friendly procedure during investigation, trial, and judicial process. Special care is taken that the child is not traumatized or victimized again. Number 4, mandatory reporting. The Act also imposes mandatory reporting of this kind of offense, and it is imposed on a duty on certain categories of people like doctors, teachers, and social workers. Now, non-reporting of this crime of offense, if you come to know about this kind of issue, offense being committed, and if you do not report being a doctor, being a teacher, or being a social worker, it also amounts to penalty, means punishment. Number 5, protection of identity. To safeguard the privacy of the children or the victim or the dignity of the victim, this act prohibits the disclosure or the identity of the victim and her family in any form of social media or media. Now, this act aims to prevent further stigmatization and victimization of the victim, and failure, if anybody fails to comply to this or expose the victim in any form, that person or that authority will also be punished according to this act. Now, number 6, and the most important, is the fast-track court. In order to expedite trial and deliver swift justice, the Act provides for establishment of special courts dedicated specially for this Act. Now, in the entire country, there's around 882 special courts. However, unfortunately, in Nagaland, we have only one special court designated specially to try this kind of cases. And of course, all the district and session judges of different districts, which does not have the special court, are empowered to try this kind of cases. So we are fortunate enough that in Dimapur, we have this special court. Now, however, despite the strength of the POCSO Act being effective, and to be effective, it ultimately depends on you and me and on our participation. In Nagaland, where resources may be very limited and awareness level vary, it is essential to create community engagement and awareness campaign in promoting a culture of child protection and empowerment. We must prioritize educating and awareness among the children to distinguish what is good touch and what is bad touch, and about their bodies, about the body boundaries, and also the rights to teach them how to seek help in this kind of situation. In conclusion, protection of children from sexual offense is not just a moral imperative. It is a fundamental human right. As individuals, as communities, and as a society, we must stand together in our commitment to safeguard the innocence and well-being of our children. Let us work together to create a world where every child can grow up safe, healthy, and free of harm. Thank you.
Women empowerment. Everybody knows about women empowerment.
the power of women from which she can take all the decisions from her choice. But I had to say about women empowerment so many things, but our dear Ma'am Konyak have covered most of the things, so I'll not repeat. But instead, I can tell you about the responsibilities. Instead, I will discuss about the responsibilities of a woman to empower other women. I request all the ladies, all the women to join hands, and we can help others. We cannot remove the darkness, but we can lit a lamp. And if we have we have a desire to help others, to help other women, to empower, to inspire. So what we can do, say, if we have money, so financially we can help other girls. Or say we don't have money, so physically we can help them. And even if we are disabled, then also we can sit behind them and we can say them kind words, so that then also they can find support from us. Or say we are unable to speak also, then also we can sit beside them and we can hear them, their sorrows, their everything, emotional things, and we can just hear, then also they can feel supported. So if we will have a strong desire to do something for our community, for our society, surely we can do, why not? So it's a request to all the women to join hands and do something for our society and community. Thank you so much.
Today, to commemorate the International Women's Day, it is my privilege to address you on the year's theme designated by United Nations, that invest in women, accelerate progress. You know, this theme encapsulates the essence of Women's Day, urging us to recognize the transformative power of investing in women and girls and the pivotal role they play in driving progress and prosperity to everyone. Investing in women is not just a moral imperative, it is also a strategic imperative and yields significant returns for society, as our speakers have already said, economies and communities alike. When women are empowered and given equal opportunities, they become the agents of change, driving innovation, growth, and sustainable development. We all know this. Because as ma'am has said, that when we educate one woman, we educate the entire nation. First and foremost, investing in women means investing in their education and skill development. Education is the foundation upon which empowerment is built, and it is essential that we ensure equal access to quality education for all girls and women, regardless of their socio-economic background. In recent years, Government of India has launched a number of schemes to empower women, such as Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, Abhiyan, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, etc. By investing in girls' education, we not only unlock their potential, but also break intergenerational cycles of poverty and inequality. Another Yojana is there, that is Lakpati Didi Yojana, which acknowledges their unique challenges and vulnerabilities. Furthermore, investing in women means creating enabling environments that support their full participation in the workforce. Now, investing in women also means addressing the structural barriers and systemic inequalities that hinder their progress. Now, I want to quote one feminist poet, I hope with no offense to the men present here. Just 4 lines I'll quote. I wore a shirt and my brother's trousers, cut my hair short and ignored my womanliness. Dress in saris, be girl, be wife, they said, be embroiderer, be cook. Here she has mentioned that always the male-dominated society had underestimated the freedom, will of women. Even they set the dress code of women. According to them, they have no right to be equal to male, as if woman has just born to be someone's daughter or wife. Last but not the least, a line goes like this: I am a woman and I get to define what that means. Thank you. Thank you.